Welcome to MCSC TV. Now guys, I am so sorry that I didn't do a match review after yesterday's game. I actually went to go and watch the game in a pub yesterday, and afterwards I then went for a meal with my family, so I unfortunately couldn't do a match review. But I'm here now, and I know it's a little bit after the game obviously because it's the day after, but I'm going to do a reflection on the game with you guys, and then also I'll do a player ratings. So yeah, let's get into it. So guys, first of all, I'll talk about the team that was started yesterday. Now, I'm not going to lie, if you do follow me on Twitter, I was a little bit frustrated when the team news came out. I suppose I was shocked more than anything. I didn't agree with some of the decisions Sarri made, but in the end it did seem to work. So, obviously, Kepa started in goal. I was well happy with that, obviously I would be. And then the back four was Azpilicueta, Rudiger, David Luiz and Alonso. And I did say in my match preview on Friday that I did want that back four to start. I thought it was a good back four. I thought it was good to drop Christiansen, give him a rest after Tottenham and play David Luiz and give him game time. And that worked. We went with that back four. And then obviously we went with Jorginho, Kante and Kovacic in defensive midfield. Now, I was very shocked that Barkley didn't actually start yesterday. I was happy to see Kovacic start. I wanted Kovacic to start, but I just wasn't so sure about Jorginho starting. And that actually, how do I say about it being so controversial? It didn't work again yesterday. It just didn't. So that's exactly why I didn't want him to start. And then Willian, Hazard and Pedro. So obviously we went with that false nine again, and I just feel as though it wastes Eden Hazard's talent, and it's so sad to see. I don't know why we didn't play Callum Hudson-Odoi. Newcastle was sitting 15th in the table, and we didn't start Callum Hudson-Odoi and give him a Premier League appearance. It just didn't make much sense to me, to be honest. But after saying all that, then the two goal scorers yesterday were obviously Willian and Pedro. But it was upsetting at times to see Hazard not showing his full potential because he was in that central position. So yeah, I'll get on to player ratings and talk in depth about the players during the player ratings. But yeah, that was the starting 11. I was happy about some things, a bit gutted about other things. But yeah, I suppose when a team lineup comes out, you're not always going to agree with the decisions made. But yeah, Sarri knows what he's doing. He's the manager. So yeah, I wasn't overwhelmed by it, but it was what it was. So I'll go on to talking about the game. So obviously Pedro scored in the 9th minute of the game. I was so overwhelmed and happy about that. We just got off to a flying start with that goal. But I suppose in a way it did kind of give us false hope in a respect, because as soon as Pedro scored that early on, I thought it's going to be a high scoring game, like we're going to lift off here. And it just wasn't the story at all. Obviously, the first half after that was quite quiet from us in all respects, really. And just before half-time, obviously Clark scored for Newcastle in the 40th minute of the game. And literally, in the pub, I just had my head in my hands. I was just like, for God's sake, like, it was so frustrating for them just to nick a goal just before half-time. I wouldn't say it was Kepa's fault in any way, shape or form. He couldn't have really done anything to stop that, and it would be unfair to blame him because it was a good goal and it was going to go in whatever happened, really. So yeah, a little bit frustrating that happened just before half time. And I thought, is this going to be one of these games where we get a draw, and is this going to knock our confidence? And it didn't, luckily. But obviously Willian then scored an amazing goal in the second half. I was so happy about that. It wasn't just like a standard goal, it was really good. It was very clinical. Yeah, a lot of skill shown there. It was such a good goal. It wasn't just an average goal. I think it is actually one of the best goals Willian has actually scored for Chelsea, in all honesty. Yeah, very impressive. But after that, again, it was just quite quiet, and I'm not going to some people will think, why on earth is Emma complaining about getting 3 points and getting a win? I suppose it's frustrating because it's just job done again, isn't it? Yeah, Newcastle are playing well away from home this season, but they're sitting 15th in the table, and it's just job done. It wasn't a spectacular performance once again. It was just a scrappy 2-1 win, wasn't it? And I've been saying this so frequently recently. We're just getting such average results. Like, we didn't keep a clean sheet. It was just a 2-1 win. We just won. Newcastle, what about if Newcastle scored in the last couple of minutes of the game? It could have happened, and it could have been a 2-2 or even a 3-2 to them. Like, it was close. It wasn't as if we outplayed them in any way. Like, it was just a close game, to be honest, and we just got a scrappy 2-1 win. And I don't want to sound controversial by saying that, but we are just getting scrappy wins at the moment. We saw it against Watford, we saw it against Crystal Palace. We're not convincing. We're just not convincing. You don't come out of a game and think, yeah, we absolutely smashed it. It's just not convincing at all, and it does worry me. And that's why we are having to act in this transfer window, because it's just not convincing enough. So, yeah. That nearly turned into a bit of a rant, didn't it? But yeah, it just is what it is. I'm just putting my frustrations out there. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat the result. It wasn't an amazing performance. Job done, and that's all there was really to take away from it. So guys, now let's move on to player ratings. Now, I would give Kepa a 7. Now, he didn't have that much to do yesterday. Like, there wasn't loads to do, but obviously you can't blame him for Clark's goal going in, as I mentioned earlier. Like, there was nothing he could have really done to stop that. And it would have been really unfair to blame him for that. It was just generally a good goal, and there wasn't really much Kepa could do about it. So I would give Kepa a 7 for yesterday's performance. Now, I would give Dave, obviously as Piliqueta, a 7. Now, he didn't do loads yesterday, but he had pretty much a solid performance, in all honesty. And he put a lot of effort into the back line, so I'd give Piliqueta a 7. Now, I'd give Marcus Alonso a 5. Now, I didn't think he had the best of games again yesterday, and it is really so unfortunate to see as a Chelsea fan, especially when we saw how good he is and the potential he's got. It's just so sad to see, but I would have to give him a 5. I'm not going to give him a 6 or a 7. I just didn't think he played that well yesterday. I don't have much faith or confidence in him at the moment, and I think like that does reflect in his own performance. I don't think he actually has that much confidence within himself. I think he looked quite isolated at points yesterday, and he did struggle. Yeah. So yeah, I haven't got much faith, and I don't think he does really. But yeah, I suppose it is just frustrating to watch as a Chelsea fan. That Marcus Alonso chant runs down the wing for me. It was made for a reason. He was so good last season, and at the moment, I just hope this little blip he's having just passes. I just hope it goes. He just needs to find his form again, that consistency and confidence. I think he is looking very tired at the moment. I think Sarri maybe does need to drop him and give him a rest, and maybe bring Palmieri in for the next game, because obviously it's against Arsenal, it's going to be difficult. So yeah, I would have to give Marcus Alonso a 5, as much as that pains me to say it. Now guys, I would give Antonio Rudiger a 7 for yesterday's performance. I did think Newcastle's player Rondon did test Rudiger at points, but nevertheless he did put a lot of effort in, so I would give him a 7. Now, I would give David Luiz an 8 for yesterday's performance. I did actually think he was the best player in defence yesterday, in all honesty. And he was very alert, he was aware of what was going on around him. His assist for Pedro's goal was brilliant. I was very impressed with him. I did think maybe some fans actually really get like controversial about this tiredness aspect, because people say, yeah, the Chelsea Football Club players are getting paid so much a week, they shouldn't be tired. But you could just see how fresh David Luiz was. He was rested against Tottenham. Christensen came in for him at Tottenham, and you could just see how fresh he was yesterday, and it does make a difference. You can see the difference in comparison to the players that were playing against Tottenham in defence yesterday. You could just see the difference between them and him, and it was because he was rested for that game. He was just very aware, very alert, and he did have a really good performance. I would have to give David Luiz an 8. Very high ranking, I know, but I think he deserves it. Now, on to Jorginho. I would give Jorginho a 4, and that is actually the lowest rating I'm giving for this player ratings. Now, I think he really struggled with his defensive duties yesterday. He just struggled completely in the game, and it's hard to watch. It really is hard to watch because I don't want to have to sit here and slate him, but he really struggled yesterday. Really bad performance. Yeah, he looked out of his depth. There's nothing really more to say, and it's just hard to watch him because I just feel as though the potential's there, but we're just not seeing that at the moment. Yeah, I would have rested him yesterday, in all honesty. I wouldn't have started him. I wouldn't have even bring him on as a substitute. I just think he looks tired and worn out. You can start to see that in the football now. Yeah, and he just struggled in defensive duty, so I'd have to give Jorginho a 4. Now I'd give N'Golo Kante a 6 for yesterday's performance. I did think he controlled the defensive midfield quite nicely, but in all honesty, he probably did struggle yesterday because Jorginho's on the next to him, obviously. That sounds so controversial, oh my days, and I know, but I just honestly, I think he would struggle with Jorginho next to him. If a player next to you isn't playing very well in the same position as you are going to struggle a little bit. So yeah, but I didn't think Kante had a bad game. It wasn't the best game for him, but you can never really fault Kante's performances. He always puts 100% effort in. He's a fast, quick-paced player, so I would give Kante a 6. Now, I'd give Kovacic a 6. I thought he made some good runs yesterday. His passing was precise. He did look out of his depth a little bit at times, and he didn't obviously play for the full 90 minutes. But yeah, I thought he did okay. It was good to see him get a start yesterday. So yeah, I'd give Kovacic a 6. Now, I'd give Pedro an 8. His goal was great yesterday. Again, he was another player that was alert. He was aware of what was going on around him. I was very impressed with him. Yeah, he was a quick, fast-paced player. He was really good. So I'd give Pedro an 8. Now, some of you guys might actually think that's quite a high rating. But honestly, I do think his performance was good, so I'll give him an 8. Now, I'd give Willian a 7. His goal was amazing, as I mentioned earlier. I do think it is one of the best goals he scored for Chelsea. Nevertheless, though, I don't think he had the most spectacular, that's the word I was looking for, performance during the game. In all honesty, he wasn't amazing, but his goal was amazing. So I would have to give him a 7. Now, I would give Eden Hazard a 6. Now, he was obviously the most central forward player yesterday again, and I just don't think it's working for him. It's not his fault. Sarri's playing him there, but it's obviously with the striker situation at the moment. So yeah, I'd have to give Hazard a 6. His assist was great, don't get me wrong, but yeah, it's just so frustrating to see such a talented player not showing that talent because he's in a position that he can't show that talent in. And this is why I got frustrated when the team lineups came out yesterday, because Giroud should have started. Why didn't Giroud start? Why wasn't Giroud playing? He was on the bench. It wasn't as if he was injured. I actually thought Morata was up for selection because Sarri did say in his press conference that he would be available, but he wasn't even on the bench yesterday. So I really don't know what was going on with Morata. I don't know whether he was injured or it's something to do with transfers or whatever. But again, Giroud should have started, and then Hazard could go back to his midfield position because it's just not working for him playing in the false 9. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe. Let me know down below all your match thoughts and who your man of the match was. My man of the match would have to be David Luiz. I was really impressed with his performance yesterday. Also, guys, let me know down below your player ratings. Rate your players from 1 to 10. How did you think they played? Yeah, that's my player ratings. Some of the opinions I have given are maybe controversial, so let me know your thoughts on what I've actually said. Do you disagree with me? Do you agree with me? Let me know. And yeah, it was a bit of an intense game. It was a bit stressful, but we got the job done. It's 3 points, I suppose. Wasn't spectacular, but it's 3 points up the Chelsea. Thanks.